Okay, 1959, good luck. We've played 3 times before. Let's just charge the center, get the knight up. Or maybe go this Slav structure. No, it's generally best to take into the center and keep challenging for the center if you can, so that's what I'll do. So let's bring our knight up, knight down. There is an immediate check, isn't there? Yeah, so knight up, knight down, just check. Now I'll need to try and cover this. Now, do I get the bishop up? I think it's a bit risky. I'm going to leave the bishop behind until I've castled. Bishop up will allow knight down. Could be a bit annoying. So bishop up, knight down. Yeah, let's just go up 1 and castle. Okay. Now, I'm probably going to chuck the pawns forward. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do. At some point, we'll both most likely push one of these pawns. But we need to come up with a plan now. Yeah, that's exactly what my opponent has done. Now the problem if I do this is it makes g6 more difficult later on if you play something like this. I could play knight out wide and hit the bishop and see if you go back. Bishop up, knight down, takes, pawn takes, knight back. It mixes it up. It kind of invites f4, but it mixes it up a bit. If I launch here, my knight is then weak. Yeah, maybe I should have gone here in the first place. I guess it does allow bishop down, but we can always come back. What do I want to do? I can play forward and see if you guard it, but then just push on. Let's do it. It kind of weakens my knight now, doesn't it? Bishop might get stuck completely, but we're just trying to push forward, gain a little bit of space if we can. Okay, so he's gone across, so I guess I need to develop my bishop and make sure I've guarded my knight, make room for the rook, but I can very easily go wrong here, because you can imagine this sort of concept is going to be a problem. Bishop down, takes, and the pawn is loose. So that's why I might need g6 instead of h6 at some point. Let's see, depends on what white does. Yeah, knight has come forward, so that could be a good trade for us. Here then we can definitely come up. He's probably going to play f4, but I think this is a good trade for us, so I'm going to take it. So bishop up now, we'll probably see f4, takes and takes, but I don't think that's terribly bad. Do I push forward here first though? Knight out wide up, trying to come in. Knight in, I just take. That could give us the space we want. Let's do that. Kick the knight away. Excuse me, then we might be able to jump forward. I'd expect something like this. So maybe pawn up, and if knight in, just take. Guess you can take either way, but then we can try and develop the bishop and deal with this. But he still needs 2 moves to set up a capture, so I've still got 2 moves to throw g6 in if I need to. So he's gone there. Now I don't think I've got any other practical moves apart from pawn up here. So I'm just going to play it. So if knight in, I'll take the knight, and then I'll aim to play bishop across and try and get this bishop off the board. Not without a lot of risk. Let's just see what white does. Excuse me. Okay, so he's played rook forward, so has he tricked me somewhere here? The bishop is loose, so if I go forward, knight in, I can still take. So has he got something better? So bishop up, rook takes, knight in, I can still take. So if bishop up, I think, is still my move here. I can't really go across walking into nonsense. Maybe you could, but feels dubious, doesn't it? I'm going to have to go up here and hope I'm not missing a trick. If I'm missing a trick, that's just chess. Bishop up could be my next move, but it still invites f4. Say retreats, we take, and f4 is still going to come, but it's still a potential. So again, here, I'll likely just take and then maybe shift my knight. So he's played across, inviting bishop up. And what's his idea then? If rook back, I think we can just trade everything. But this is loose, but I don't see nothing else. So bishop up. If take, I can take. We still hit the rook. If rook down, we can drop back. I need to do something about this, don't I? So let's go here and hope we're not blundering something. Here he does attack the rook. I've seen that. I think I can drop back, but it kind of invites the knight in. It's inviting trouble. Oh, he's taken. Okay. So I assume I go with the queen, but I don't know. That could happen. Here or here. It's got to be the queen, hasn't it? It's got to be right to go with the queen and just drop the rook back at some point. Say he comes forward. And now I'm going to try and give my king a bailout square. My opponent's already done that. H pawn is probably fine now, but let's just see. Okay, so I've got to give my king a square. So 1 or 2 or 1 here. H6 is natural. I could play a rook back now. Knight in his covered, he's got this. If I don't play rook back, he just comes down. If I do play rook back, he can go here. So I think I need this first. I was just going to play pawn forward and then rook back if he comes down, I think. He might be looking at something else like queen down. I can always retreat on. Actually, trade would be really dangerous. Trade would be dangerous. Knight forward now. Yeah, probably queen down if he goes here, but quite a dubious position, isn't it? It feels like I've not really made any bad blunders, but I'm just kind of... White's got the initiative, if I put it that way. White's got the initiative. Can we make it work? Let's find out. Yeah, he's played across attacking the rook. So I assume I just need to drop right back here. If he comes down, I come right back here as well. If the knight comes in, could be a problem. Now the queen does guard, but you don't really want this sort of setup if you can help it. I could throw a knight forward though. Here, knight across. So knight up is a candidate move here. So rook down now we just take. But if my queen gets deflected, the rook's loose. So back, rook down. I've only really got one realistic move there. Now knight in here, across. It's a bit too bogged down, isn't it? I think I might have to play knight up and then we cover this. If you play f3 to kick the knight, I can go to g3. And I've still got a couple of potential squares to come back to, but it could be a mistake. Knight back to hit the rook can't be right, can it? Knight here, down, then I can't come back. That can't be good. So I'm actually looking at knight up, but then one piece is guarding another. Not good. So here, rook down, back, looks forced. Now what's he do? Knight in here. Knight up to try and sack a pawn at best, or push a pawn. Knight in across. Knight over. No, I think I have to drop the rook back. I think I have to play this. It just feels a bit too shaky bringing the knight forward. We'll check it after the game. It might be the right move. It just feels a bit too shaky doing that. If I can get the knight forward now and get the queen out of the way, that feels kind of playable, even though these pawns could easily vanish at any moment. But knight up, f3, the knight's got a few potential paths. I just need to get the queen over there as well. But right now I don't quite see it. I don't have to think of that. It was my only realistic move. It's a case of what does he do here. I might play knight forward if he comes here and just potentially sack a pawn and then chuck these up the board just to try and take some pressure off. Knight here allows him to come here. And queen across. Little bit of an awkward move, isn't it? But knight in here, if I play knight here, if he doesn't accept it, my queen's then got a path out. Yeah, he's gone that way, so he hits the rook. So what's his idea? To come here? Well, I've got no other moves other than going here. It's my only realistic move, so it's all I can play. Rook down now, we just take, and if rook takes, we take the knight. So he'll probably triple stack, and I'll have to shift the knight. That's what he's done. So here, rook down, I can get my queen out. If he takes, I take. If he checks, I take. He checks, and I get up. That seems alright. It doesn't seem like there's anything else to really do. So if I take, he takes here. He's guarded his rook, so he's good, isn't he? So I'm going to do this and give my queen a square. We're already into the second half of our time as well. We're on move, what, 23? Has he got a nasty surprise here? Oh, he's got knight down, actually. I just missed that. He's got knight down, but I couldn't get out of the way anyway. He's played it amazingly, hasn't he? Knight down, queen up will have to be played. Get out of the way. And it's just over, isn't it? Yeah, it's just finished. It is just finished. Knight in, why is he not playing it? Why is he not playing knight in? It's just finished, isn't it? All I can do is get out of the way. Knight takes, takes. It's just game over. It's unbelievably how he's played this. Unbelievable. Okay, this game is actually, it's resignable right now. Could not have played it more perfect if he tried. Could not have been more better if he tried this one. This is... yeah, bit too good to be true, this one. This one's a little bit too good to be true. Then just pawn forward. I mean, maybe I can check, but it's over, isn't it? F3, there's a pin. I mean, if I have to play F5, you just come down here. G6, you're going to get on the back rank. F5 will have to be played. I mean, queen back, I can't trade the queen anywhere. So F3, check. If king up, check here, I guess. And then you go back and it's finished. So why has he not played it? He's played the rest of the game absolutely perfectly. So he's gone there, so I'm going to have to push here, aren't I? There's nothing else I can play here. I've got to make sure I break that pin. Now the knight could potentially jump, hit the rook and forward, but you can still kick the knight easily. Knight can come back. Can't really defend though. I've got a real lesson this game, haven't I? We've got a real lesson this game. He played this amazingly well. If I could get a repetition here, that would be a miracle. Queen across, he's got to watch the back rank, like if he waddles forward or something. Queen across is a basic threat, but not much. Now if he moves, at least I can throw a check in. Takes, pawn takes, and there's no repetition there. Wow, what a game. It's just chess though, isn't it? He's played it really, really well. Can he convert? He's still got 2.5 minutes, just like a blitz game. So I've got to try and be up on the clock now. But equally, I need to clear my mind. Just see what move he makes and then worry about it. So he has come forward. So he's given us a chance to play queen across. Threatening checkmate. So what does he do? I don't think I can push there. He just takes, doesn't he? So queen across here. There's no way through, is there? There's no way through. Queen across here. I'm not then getting this, so... Knight back. I'm not guarding anything. There's just no moves, is there? I think he just goes here. Check. Well, maybe we create this sort of ID. There's nothing else to do, so I might as well play it. Just create the most obvious threat that you can create. I could knight check and come here, but then how do I defend? He can just double up here, threaten mate. I can't go here. Give the king a square. He needs 2 moves just to do this. Queen down threatens check right now. If he's behind though, he threatens a check with a rook and then the queen to come here. So he's actually gone back. Okay, I didn't expect that. So if I hit the rook and go here now. Yeah, it's just ultra solid, isn't it? There's no possible way through. What if I come back then? Let's just bring the queen back. See if he does this or this. There's no other move for me to practically play what he's done. Come back again just to keep that threat there. But knight like this, you can just easily kick it, and the knight's got no other squares other than coming back, so that's why I'm reluctant to do this. Also, he's offered the trade. So takes, and again, I can't possibly defend, can I? I'm going to come right back and go after the rook. Not like a knight, just try and go after the rook, but again, you can easily defend. Oof, actually, can I get forward this side now? He's gone back, so can I risk coming forward here now? Or is that just putting me completely offside? Probably. I can push here first, and if takes queen across. But you can just guard, can't you? Here. You just guard, and then I can't get back to this side. So queen here. Not really a threat. Let's just play a holding move, because I've got to stay up on the clock whatever I do. It's my only even remote outside chance. I've got to be up on the clock. Let's push. Now, I know this is going to fall if he goes after it, but I say the clock is my only real asset here. I've got a target here. I've got queen back here if his queen waddles off. Let's just see. So I assume I go back here again. Now, I do have queen here, but then I'm not able to defend. So here, takes, check, up. Yeah, it's nothing, is it? It's nothing. Knight back. I'm looking at here. Say across, knight back. Again, it's nothing really this, but I've got to play something. But now my king can't escape if he gets the back rank. Here though, he just takes. That's what he's gone for. So let's come here. Guard, hit the pawn, but it's only a pawn. It's not a threat. It's not an actual threat. It's just a pawn. Okay, so he's come forward. Let's just push forward here, because he can obviously kick my knight, or he's done it that way. So, have I got queen across here? Hit the rook. There's no miracle here, I don't think. Like, I can check and take, but he just runs and it's fine. Let's say queen down here, you hit the pawn. Knight back. Yeah, he's got that way as well. Let's come here, hit the pawn. I assume he'll just take. I've got him very low on time, haven't I? But he's still got time to convert this one. Well, 10 seconds actually, yeah, so... Oh, actually, I've got to check here. Have I survived? Have I survived it? I can actually repeat now. Can I finish it? Check. Here. Knight down. We hit the rook and we threaten check, don't we? We threaten a check here. Wow, how the heck did we get him in that one? How the heck did we win that game? He played that amazingly well all through the opening, didn't he? Amazingly well. What a game that was. Well, let's pause it and see what it was in engine speak. He must have missed a win somewhere, you would think. So they're the move times for both players there. Actually, he's very, very even out of the opening there. So let's just see what it was in engine language. I really should have lost that one. That's what it felt like, didn't it? It didn't feel like I had a defense there yet. Oh, I'm actually better here. And I blundered it back by dropping the knight back. I actually blundered it, so I've actually missed something there. The knight back actually blundered it away, but yeah, I'm completely lost. I thought I was. -5. It felt like I was completely lost. And I was indeed. He's just played it perfectly. Couldn't have really played it any better. So up to move 40, he could not have played that any better, and then a one-move blunder. We've blundered it back on that one move. Let's just have a really quick flick through then, but where does he build an advantage? It's round about move 13. It just builds and builds and builds. Like I say, he just couldn't have played the game any better. Fabulous. So that was a mistake. I should have played rook across. Oops, rook across, excuse me. Yeah, and then I should have played the bishop up here to challenge his bishop and invite f4. That would have been the better way to play it, but I'm still basically -2. There, I should have pushed in the center instead of the outer pawn. So here, it was okay to drop back, but it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I should have actually played knight back here to hit the rook instead of going forward. And you can see the eval is just getting worse and worse and worse. So we've got a few more moves to go. I'm just looking for anything to stay in the game, basically. And we've got something to learn at the end here. I should have played f4. See, I looked at f4, but I didn't see what I create from it. If you just simply take, you kick my knight, but I didn't see what I get from it. Then queen to f6. Oh, we hit the rook and we hit the pawn. Okay, we hit the rook and we hit the pawn, but I'm still -4, basically. And this is where it turns. So here again, I should have brought the knight across instead of the queen. I was just looking at takes and takes, but... excuse me. So we're still in scramble mode now. Here, he should have played the king back. So what a blunder that is to make. Taking the pawn is a losing blunder. It's a losing blunder, and just dropped the king back and he was still +5. Wow, that's some blunder, isn't it? That's wow. And then here I thought, have I got a way to checkmate? And I knew I was hitting the rook, and I've got this mate threat here. But it was actually a blunder. I should have checked here. So what I should have done was, which move am I on here? I should have played queen check here, king back, and the knight forward to d2. So it's the same concept, but it's in a different way and it's still forcing. So you have to give up your rook. Okay, I didn't see any of this, of course. So that would have been winning for me. That's what I should have done. But knight g5, I was looking for the same idea, but in a different configuration. But it's actually level now. I can take this pawn and he covers the check, which I missed again. I didn't see that. So I could take the rook, but then he's got this passed pawn here, and it's just, can I maybe repeat? The best I can do is repeat here, but at least it's a draw. At least it would be a draw there. So take the rook, and all I can do is repeat, isn't it? Oh, well, the engine's saying there, don't repeat that move. I think I would have just repeated. Because otherwise, why don't you just run this pawn down the board? But I guess I can still repeat, can't I, right now? But yeah, we got a miracle there, didn't we? That is an absolute miracle. Played that amazingly well, but look at the figures. 83% versus 55% on the accuracy. And yet we've been completely outplayed for 45 moves. So that is really, really misleading, that. That is really misleading. That felt like I was just completely outplayed for virtually all the game. A couple of mistakes and it completely skews the figures up. So it is what it is.